This video is about adjectives. We can think about adjectives in terms of their meaning, their morphology and their distribution. And in terms of meanings, we can say that adjectives express characteristics or attributes of nouns. So some examples are slow, the girl is slow, ugly, that picture is ugly, clever, a clever dog. Yeah, so we say that the dog has the characteristic of being clever. Most adjectives are gradable, and that means that you can express a degree with them, and we can do that by putting a degree adverb in front of them. So, and the degree adverbs are words such as very, highly and rather. So we can say a very dark color. Dark is the adjective, and very tells you that the color is not just dark, but it's dark to a high degree. Yeah, some other examples are a highly desirable property, where desirable is the adjective, or a rather interesting performance, where interesting is the adjective. Yeah. Some adjectives are not gradable, so if you've got something like dead, yeah, you can't really be rather dead. You know, you're dead or you're not dead. So then we say that the adjective is non-gradable. In terms of where an adjective occurs in the sentence, so in terms of its distribution, we find that adjectives can be used with two functions, and that depends on their position in the sentence. The first function we call attributive, and that's where an adjective is used attributively immediately preceding a noun, so just in front of a noun. So you get something like a blue balloon, where balloon is the noun and blue is the adjective. The clever girl, a worried father. Yeah, so that's one of two places where an adjective can occur. And the other one gives us the predicative function or predicative function, and you get something like the balloon was blue, the girl is clever, her father seemed worried. And we said that adjectives can be used predicatively, usually following a form of the verb to be. It's not just to be, we saw that above, her father seemed worried. It's in fact a small group of verbs called copular verbs. And some other examples are seem, appear, look, feel, smell, taste, those kind of verbs. Together they're called copular verbs. Okay, what we see then is that adjectives can occur in two positions in the sentence, and that's also the way to test whether you're dealing with an adjective. So the rule is that if a word can occur immediately preceding a noun and following a form of to be, then it must be an adjective. So the, it may have not occur with the, but the ... noun, yeah, so the pretty noun, and the noun is ... So the pretty picture, and the picture is pretty. Now, if a word can occur in both those positions, then you can be confident that you're dealing with an adjective. So let's try it out. In she carried a shopping bag, is shopping an adjective, a noun or a determiner? Just think for a moment. Now, to test if it's an adjective, apply the rule. So you get, okay, you have a shopping bag, the shopping bag, so the shopping there comes in front of the bag, so that's that attributive position, so that works. Then you try the second part of the rule. Can you say a bag is shopping, the bag is shopping? No, you can't. And so it can't be an adjective, and in fact I hope you spotted that shopping here is a noun, and shopping bag is a compound noun, and what we saw, the thing we saw last week. So a bag for shopping. Okay, try another one. That was a boring film. Is it boring an adjective, a noun or a determiner? So again, we get a boring film, the boring film, so attributive position's fine. Can you apply the second part of the rule? The film was boring. Now this time that works perfectly well, yeah? So that is good evidence that you're in fact dealing with an adjective. Now, what we've done there is to see if you're dealing with two nouns or an adjective and a noun, we've paraphrased, we applied the tests, yeah? So a piano teacher, yeah, is not a teacher who is piano, but a teacher who teaches the piano. Kitchen floor is the floor in a kitchen, not the floor which is kitchen. Now if you've got an adjective there in front of the noun, then of course you can say the noun is something. Now look at this example. What does it mean, the French teacher? And apply the rules. Now hopefully you've realized that this actually means different things. So you can say the teacher who teaches French is the French teacher. Now French there is a proper noun, and so the whole thing is a compound noun. But the French teacher can also be paraphrased as the teacher who is French, yeah, and that gives you a different interpretation, and then French is an adjective. Now something more we can say about adjectives is that if they're gradable, they can occur with different forms. So now we're looking at their morphology. Yeah, so you can say John's dog is a lazy dog, and that's the neutral form. But you can also say he's lazier than Sue's. Yeah, so you have lazy plus er, and we call that the comparative form, because you're comparing two different entities in terms of this property. And you can also say he is the laziest dog I know, and then you have lazy plus est, and that gives you what's called the superlative form, yeah, the top. Okay, let's try one. In her room is neater than mine. What's neater? Is it in a neutral form, in a comparative form, or a superlative form? Or isn't it a noun? Or is it a noun? Is it not an adjective at all? It is in fact an adjective in comparative form. Yeah, so you're comparing two rooms in terms of this property of neatness. Now you have to be a little bit careful with these comparative and superlative forms. Yeah, if you look at Alice here, you can, and Alice actually says curiouser and curiouser, but that's not part of standard English. When you have a word with three syllables, so curious, yeah, you tend to use more and most. So more for the comparative form and most for the superlative form. Okay, let's try a couple more. Yeah, so here is the contest entry form. Is contest an adjective in neutral form, an adjective in comparative form, or an adjective in superlative form, or is it not an adjective at all? Is it a noun? Now try and apply the different tests. Of course we've got the est ending here, but if you take that off, all you end up with is cont, and that's not an adjective. Yeah, so the est here is actually part of the stem contest. Okay, so then do the adjective rule. So you can say the contest entry form. The entry form is contest. Now that doesn't work. It's an entry form for a contest. So what we've got here, contest entry form, is actually a compound noun. And as you can see, there are three nouns in it. Okay, try one more. In her newest film is a thriller. What's newest? Well, again we see this est ending. Yeah. Now if you take that off, you've got new. Yeah. So that looks like we've got an adjective in superlative form, and you can say her film is new. Yeah, or is newest. So what we've got there is an adjective in superlative form. Okay, just to finish off, remember what the thing that you have to learn by heart is this rule. If a word can occur immediately preceding a noun and it can occur following a form of to be, then it must be an adjective. Yeah? But as we've seen with comparing the compound noun and the adjective, yeah, you have to try both parts of the rule to be sure that you're dealing with an adjective.